the Rev Up Fitness Podcast. The show for fitness professionals and fitness enthusiasts.
Hey, pay attention. Hey, for 39 seconds, I need your attention.
Go behind the scenes of the health and wellness industry with us. Starting your host, Fit with CJ, side hustle mentor, and the lovely Electric Fit.
It's my favorite podcast.
And the show starts right now.
What's up, Fit fam? It is your girl, Electric Fit. I am here with CJ, the creator.
What's up, Fit fam? Yo, we are so happy to be back for season 2 of the Rev Up Fitness Podcast.
And
what's going on, Fit fam? It's your boy, Marquise, also known as Side Hustle Mentor, and definitely glad to be back. We've been gone for a bit, but we have so much to update you on because there's been so much happening in the world right now.
Oh, yeah, so much, right?
Oh, yeah, listen, guys. We are in our new home, our new Rev Up Fitness Podcast studio, our new home. How do you feel, Jay? How do you like the new place?
It's everything. Everything. If you guys been with us from the beginning, we started out, about a year ago, I think, in a different studio, and then COVID hit, and then we made our homes the studio, and now we found our official home. We're back because we definitely missed that studio feel, and we wanted to bring that energy to you all.
Oh, yeah, I'm loving it. And then, listen, we got Side Hustle Mentor dialed in from wherever he is in the world, and he feels like he's right here with this, virtual technology.
I definitely feel like I'm right here with you guys. We having a blended studio approach. So some people, working remote, some people in the studio, but we can still get work done. I love it, though. I actually had a chance to see the studio the last time I was in Atlanta, and man, it's just amazing the kind of content we're going to be able to kick out of this place.
Oh, I know, right? It's just beautiful, man.
Yeah. And look, and the thing is, what's so amazing about this is that people can now listen to us on all of the audio streaming platforms, or they can, watch us on YouTube for every episode now.
Oh, absolutely. They're ready.
Oh, yeah.
They miss us.
They all about that YouTube life anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Some people just want to see that video, so now you got the best of both worlds.
This is a random question, but how do you guys listen to podcasts? Because me personally, I watch more on YouTube than I listen, but that's just me. What about you? You guys?
It depends. Sometimes if it's like really, really interesting, I want to see the people. I want to feel like I'm a part of the conversation. Mm-hmm. But then also what I'm finding is listening to podcasts as you drive. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, that's actually my favorite way to listen to podcasts is while you drive. I always remember back when I was still, working in a corporate space and just being in traffic, in Atlanta daily. You know how it is, that hour bumper to bumper traffic sometimes. Those podcasts saved my life, I have to say, because, I was able to kind of learn new skills and not waste the time in the car. So I definitely love listening to podcasts in the car, but some I actually enjoy on YouTube as well. There's a few podcasts that I really love on YouTube because you kind of get that vibe of how people are interacting with each other as well. So it just really depends on the podcast, but those are my two favorite ways.
Oh, absolutely. Man, I'm telling y'all, speaking of the year of pivots, because definitely, as we started off talking about the migration from one studio to home back to another studio. There's been so many pivots up under, everyone, the Rev Up Fitness umbrella this year. So many different pivots. If you all have been staying tuned to us, you know that this year was going to be the second annual Aruba Fitcation. We were so excited about it. So much energy and hype around it. Everyone, we were just all ready,
super ready.
Yeah, we thought that COVID was wrapping up when the summer came.
Oh, well, what's so weird is that, me and Side Hustle Mentor were in Aruba in March when everything started to go crazy. Mm-hmm. And we were literally scouting, for Fitcation. You want to tell them about it, Queese?
Yeah, definitely. He was already there. And then my birthday was that same week. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to jet down there with him, and kind of help out scout also. So you wouldn't be down there alone. But as the days went by, we just were hearing more and more about this virus that was kind of continuing to spread back home. And I remember getting calls from family members, are you guys going to be able to make it back? Are you going to be able to make it back? Even ourselves, it's like, man, as the days got closer to our trip, I'm like, man, hopefully we are going to be able to make it back, because things were starting to shut down in Aruba. Curfews were starting to be implemented. So it was definitely one of those once in a lifetime experiences.
Yeah, I mean, I remember walking around the beach that morning, one of the mornings, I should say, while we were down in scouting for vacation, and people on the beach were like, oh, it's just the flu, it's just this, it's that, and then, everybody was making so light of it because, no one knew what it was, and we're just like, okay, we were in Aruba for those first few days, like he said, everything was okay, but after, I would say the last 2 days we were there, the flight stopped coming in. To the island, and we were like, wait a second, and our moms were calling like, are you guys gonna get home? Are you gonna get home? And we're like, we think so, but we're like, guess what? If we're stuck anywhere,
stubborn, like, we're good, everything is good, but to ourselves, we're like, man, hopefully we're gonna be able to make it out of here. But I mean, at the end of the day, if you have to be stuck somewhere, it wasn't like the worst place in the world. So
exactly. I know, because when I was talking to y'all seemed so unbothered.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, we were. We're like, okay, we're stuck. Like, it's Aruba. We got friends here, we're good, we're in paradise.
Absolutely. So definitely, from that, we were on course, start, to softly advertise. Even we did a podcast with episode with one of our partners in Aruba. And the closer it got to the fall, a few pivots came. CJ, tell us about some of those pivots. Let the world know, what's been going on, because they are interesting, fam.
Yeah, so, after season 2 started of the Rev Up Fitness podcast, like you said, we had Javier on from Muscle and Lungs. And, right after that, we started to, have more serious conversations as far as, like, how we were going to get people to the island of Aruba safely, how we were going to make this whole process work. And we went through a process where me and, Side Hustle Mentor went down to Aruba, and we went through the testing phase and, go on international travel and getting basically the whole new world of traveling in the midst of this pandemic. And we wanted to feel it out before we had people pay for a ticket and come down there and, like, how is this event going to be for them? And one of the problems is that we were more so worried about people's getting test results back. Yes. Right. So it wasn't so much that, honestly, if you get tested, you had to get tested 72 hours before your flight and have your results back in 72 hours before your flight. So once you get to the island, it's pretty safe because everyone there has to be tested before they get there. So that part was okay. The problem was getting people's test results back in time. And we could not guarantee people would have enough time to do that. So we made a pivot this year and said, hey, you know what? The worst thing that could happen, honestly, I think for myself and all of us hosting, would be that someone paid for a Aruba vacation, they got in, it came time for the trip, and their test results didn't come back.
Right.
And we're in Aruba learning, networking, having a great time, and they couldn't get there because their test result didn't come back in time. That, I think, will weigh on all of us, right?
Yes.
So we made the pivot, and so... Listen, we created the Rev Up Fitness Conference, like the first ever Rev Up Fitness Conference. It was a virtual conference for fitness professionals. We wanted to make sure that personal trainers and people in the industry got the information they needed to excel and elevate, not only in this year, the last quarter of this year, but into 2021 as well.
Family, when I tell you the conference was everything, there were 17 speakers. So much value, so many different lanes about fitness and how to grow your business, even from the TikTok aspect of it to, your client aspect of it, just how to move forward in your business, the challenges that we've received from different speakers. The information was just, I really don't have the words to say. If you missed out,
I would definitely have to say it was hopefully life-changing for some people because, the whole state of the world is changing. So many people are going online, and you know how people are. Once you get accustomed to something, it's going to be hard to go back to things. So, I feel like, the whole purpose of the Rev Up Fitness Conference was to make people ready for that new world and that transition of those fitness businesses to online world, because that's where the customers are ultimately going to be going. So ourselves, we pretty much had to do that with our business in itself. We had to go from that local model that we were doing that was just being local in Aruba to saying, okay, we have to shift and go online as well, because that's where the customers are going to be.
Absolutely. And I don't think this is just a trend. I think that, this whole online transition is here to stay. It was here loosely prior. And I think more people are starting to find a rhythm with it, and they want to be at home more. Still getting out, after the pandemic, of course, I'm sure. But just to have that option to know that, hey, I can do this and this is more convenient and floats into my lifestyle. And for the ones who need to monetize both sides, I mean, hey, it's gonna be.
Oh yeah. So many people, like you said, this is the way of the future. So I think obviously with the conference, it was not just a one-time thing.
Yes.
So we're gonna definitely do it again. We're already deciding what time of next year it's gonna happen, or if it's gonna be multiple times next year. We'll find out.
Stay tuned.
But
definitely stay tuned.
but basically, I would say that was a huge pivot for us. And the second pivot, honestly, when the whole pandemic started was, and I wouldn't even call it a pivot, but it was kind of like a point of, hey, it's time now. And that was Fitness Online University. It was a project that we talked about, myself and Coco and Side Hustle a little bit last year, early in February, March last year. Never really came about, but this year, once. By the way, I'm wearing my FOU, my FOU Adidas, I'm saying hoodie right here.
Represent.
Saying Adidas, go ahead and holler at us. But so it's one of those things where we're like, you know what? This is the time we need to get this information out to fitness professionals. This is the time where, we're all stuck in the house anyway during quarantine. Let's go ahead and let's make this happen now. And so that kind of like pushed it forward a bit. It was always going to happen, but it was one of those things where it was like forced into action 100% foot to the gas.
Right.
So it worked out for us in our benefit that we actually had the time to do it. And that's how we used our time in quarantine.
Yep. And it's definitely paying off, I'm sure, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's just growing, we went through a nice, beta period in the summertime. And, we've learned so much that, next year I just can't wait to, and I can't wait for the world to see, the kind of things that we're cooking up. So.
Oh, yeah. This dude, we were just talking about what he was cooking up. But when you let Side Hustle Mentor cook, I'm telling you, it's about to blow your minds what he's doing with the platform. I'm just going to tell you that.
Guys, I know that. I'm telling y'all, Hustle, I call him Hustle. Hustle maybe, I'm just saying, I call him Hustle. He may be like soft-spoken and quiet, but when I tell you the genius behind the name, like his mind and how he puts things together, he's so methodical, strategic. Like, I'm telling you, like, if you're looking for an automation guy, I'm telling you, he's the one. He is definitely the one.
Shameless plug. Thank you.
So definitely, I mean, and speaking of, since you're always the soft-spoken one, tell us a little bit about what's going on with Side Hustle and what's coming.
Oh, man, definitely. It's been like I said, just from the top, it's been a crazy year because I think that I had so many different plans in mind, around February, March time. And then COVID kind of hit, and I had to start working out then, and I was doing different business stuff, and then COVID hit, and so I had to kind of shift everything in a sense. But also I was fortunate too enough because I didn't actually start losing money. I actually started making more money, mostly because a lot of my clients that I was working with during that period, a lot of them are in the education space, and everybody's trying to go online and learn things online right now. So one of my biggest clients that I was working with was 8-figure influencer Dan Locke, and we've been working with him for almost 8 to 10 months. And man, just what I learned over that 8 to 10 months was just like $1 million marketing degree. And that's knowledge that I'll be able to obviously use in my own business and clients' business going forward. And I think the one thing that I learned over the course of this year that I'll be able to take into next year to help out my clients is, people really don't have a money problem. They have a skill problem. And,
Wow.
The whole purpose of my brand, Side Hustle Mentor, was really to, help people create passive income for themselves and side hustles for themselves, alternate forms of income. And, I tell people that they don't have a money problem. It's really that they have a skill problem because, there's so many different opportunities out here that, you can actually embark in to make money, but you just don't have the skills to do it, or you don't know how to actually translate those skills into actual sales and things. So really the focus of what I got going on with Side Hustle Mentor next year is I'm kind of like revamping the platform a little bit to where I'm still going to focus on the technical stuff like the automation and things, but I really want to, help a larger pool of people by, helping people develop skills so they can actually kind of create their own courses or create their own, platforms online or whatnot. So, FOU, Fitness Online University, is one example of that, something that was just kind of like a concept, of having a skill in the personal training and arena, and now turning that into a platform where you can actually impact others, and of course make a profit for it as well. Recently, I was just actually helping one of my relatives, my cousin. She was actually a nurse by trade, and she's been watching me do the side hustle thing for a couple of years or whatnot. So she finally reached out to me, and she wanted to start her own scrub lines, nurse scrubs or whatnot. And, we have been working together for like the last 2 months. I took her from a complete newbie. I mean, when I tell you she'll know nothing about online stuff, nothing other than how to post on Facebook. That's about it. But, we were, had her out there, contacting people in China to make relationships, for vendors. And, we set up store for the online store. And, now she's made over like $3,000 in just the first month of, scrub sales. So I want to be able to kind of bottle up those types of experiences that I have and actually create courses on it going forward. So create a course on how to start your own dropshipping store, or, how to start your own, fitness platform, things of that nature. So I really want to kind of teach people more skills than saying, I'm going to kind of help you with just the automation of your business, because if you don't have a business, it ain't really nothing to automate, but I definitely feel that there's a lot of income out there for people to have. They just need the skills to get there. So that's what Side Hustle Mentor is going to be going and doing in 2021 and beyond.
Love it. Oh my gosh. I mean, I hope you all were listening.
Yeah, I hope you listen. You should have had your notebook out for that one for sure. And the thing is, like with Fitness Online University, for example, like to have access to someone like him for personal trainers or fitness professionals is so huge. It's so huge. And you see how much growth can come and how much development can come from a personal trainer or someone who's listening to the podcast, by, having access to Side Hustle. He is a hidden gem, but no longer hidden. He is here on the Rev Up Fitness podcast with us, and we're glad you get to finally meet him.
Yes,
yeah, definitely. You can. That was the big thing I learned, is that you can do a lot from behind the scenes, but my actual deep down thing is that I want to affect people more on a global scale. To do that, I definitely need to be at the front for most of my business myself, because nobody can actually promote your business like you can. You are normally your number one salesperson. So I'm going to take that advice for myself and make people aware of the type of knowledge that I can kind of help out in their business.
Hey, you heard him, folks. You gotta take advantage. Because he will definitely be booked. And actually, he's almost at that point where he's booked, though.
Yeah, I definitely take clients by very limited demand right now. So I usually, and I'm just being honest, it's just honestly because I like to be involved in so many other projects that, time is spread thin, so, if you choose to work with somebody, it's usually going to be, very one-on-one, but it ain't going to be cheap.
Hey, and I mean, CJ, don't look at me like that because you're working on some stuff too. Stop it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got a few things cooking. I don't know how I'm supposed to follow up Side Hustle Mentor, but I'm just saying, but no. So for me, with Fit with CJ, it was my personal page, my first personal Instagram, and it's turned into its own brand, its own business page, right?
Yep.
And so, I look at it, and you challenge me a little bit on this too. You're like, listen, CJ, you create so many other things, and it doesn't have to be just tailored to fitness. And you are just a creator, CJ, the creator. And, I'm definitely going to kind of own that name. And I do like the name, and I like the whole idea of it because, Fit with CJ, like I said, is its own brand, its own platform. But there's so many other things that come to my head, so many other things that I can do that I'm definitely going to, be pushing forward with a few ideas. I'll just say a website is coming. I'll just say definitely I'm going to be doing some more stuff on YouTube. I definitely want to do more live Instagram store, and not Instagram store, but IG lives, but not necessarily from Fit with CJ, right? So not so much, always talking about fitness is cool, but there's sometimes I just want to talk about other stuff, but I don't feel what Fit with CJ is that platform. But CJ the creator, I'll be able to speak on more things,
Do I sense a handle change?
Oh, no, not a handle change. Not a handle change. That will always be there. I just have too many things. Listen, when it comes to it's established. When you Google, and by the way, go Google Fit with CJ and see what comes up. But
he got some credentials in there now.
It's credentials that is established. Like there's media stuff on there, press on there. There's stuff not only linked to articles that I'm mentioned in, but even testimonials from gyms that I've been to, like Blast. When I went to Blast, my article and a testimony I did for Blast will show up, and some of the other events that I've been to in the last 5-6 years. Like Fit with CJ is tied to a lot of different brands. Okay. So the handle change, I don't want to. That would definitely won't happen. Okay. But it would an additional handle will come up.
So a continuation on another level.
By the way, let me go ahead and get that in case somebody's listening to this and they want to.
You just now.
No, I'm just playing. If you go try to get it, you ain't gonna get it.
Oh wow. So tell all our listeners how it all started, though. How long ago did you create this page?
Wow. For me, it's a good question. I feel like it was around 6-7 years ago. Okay. Because actually, you know what? I can tell you, it was 7. Okay. Because it was before. It was before I really got comfortable being in front of the camera. Okay. I really wasn't comfortable being in front of the camera, and there's some years where I would not do any pictures. You would hardly get me to take a picture, and then there's
not that many adult photos of him online up into a certain point. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just like
I'm over here okay, really? No,
for real. And then I hated the idea of social media. I was like, I don't want to get a Facebook. I deleted my Facebook. He'll tell you. How long was I off of Facebook? How long was I off?
For years. Most of our old classmates would be messaging me like, "Hey, is he still alive?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's good. He just ain't on Facebook."
Yeah, I deleted Facebook. I was never in Instagram, and one day I was just like, you know what? Let me just start an Instagram just because, and I just started sharing my fitness journey through that, and that's kind of how it all began. And I got into running a little bit, and really that was really when it kind of took off. And then I started traveling, running all over different parts of this country and things like that, and it just kind of started to develop. And every year it does develop, and then it'd be interesting one day to kind of put a timeline together, and then go back and just show you, hey, here's how my content look. How's my content look 7 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, all the way down. Just to kind of show the development of it all. And because that's one thing I will say is just being a creator. You don't want to just have ideas in your head. You want to get them out and implement them, because they will transform, and everything will transform with time, and they will develop into, I won't even just say better, but they will just develop, because you'll be like, hey, you know what? I thought I want to go here, but I really want to go there. But you don't know until you try it.
Yeah, I definitely seen the growth on your page. It was a lot of fitness videos, and then it transitioned into more of the how-tos, the gyms, so forth, and then different things you were advocating or promoting for, and teaching. So definitely,
it's a mix of a lot of. It's just weird because people are like, "What is your page?" I'm like, "Well, it's a little bit of entrepreneurship, a little bit of how-to, it's a little bit of motivation, it's a little bit of my fitness journey." But that's what makes it unique, is that it's not, it's not totally tied down to one particular niche, but it is in a way. But it's me. It's still me. So Fit with CJ is always gonna be there. Fit with CJ. CJ the creator will be. I'll just let that come out. Just know it's coming at the top of the year.
They already.
Awesome. What would you say was your inspiration to actually create the page?
That's a good question. I don't know. I really don't know. I think I was I will say this. I can tell you how I felt at that time, and I was really depressed. To be honest, at the time, I was definitely going through a lot. A lot of things personally, financially, and I might have needed an outlet. And didn't even realize it, and that's what triggered me to do that. Like, I was at a point where, a lot of things were not going in my favor, and maybe I just was looking for something different, to be honest. It's the first time I really thought about it like that, but that was what I know how I felt, but I never really associated with, maybe that's why I did create the page, and it does make sense.
That's very interesting because, I think my story was kind of the same. I think when I initially created my page back in 2017, it was more kind of like an outlet, so it was mostly just, inspirational quotes and things of that nature. And then it kind of transformed from there. But I think it was just kind of like an outlet for something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot going on there. So you got a little insight behind the scenes. Thanks to the interviewer over here. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a good job.
But you know what? Of all the years I've known you, that I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I had no idea.
It's the first time someone's really pushed me on that question. Though people was asking, I'll just say, "Hey, I just started it and shared my fitness journey." But the reason why, I don't think I've really been asked that the same way. So yeah, good job.
I can't with you, but sometimes it's those circumstances that we don't like that we birth, the greatest ideas.
Mm.
And, it's so weird. Like, you don't see it, and then you just find something as a buffer, and it turns into, the next thing.
Yeah, for sure. So, okay, now it's a little bit of our turn.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's our turn.
You've been asking all the questions.
I like it like that. No.
What has been out with
What's
Electric
been going
Fit?
on in the world of Electric Fit?
Oh, my gosh. So much. I mean, where did we start, guys?
Yo, I just know that this summer, you were killing it with Electric Saturdays. Everyone loved it. Everyone was like, yo, listen, guys, if you were not watching the Electric Saturdays every weekend, she did a couple different series of it. My sisters were on it. My mom was on it. My mom from New York City was on it. She's like, where is that girl at on the Instagram? She was out. She was literally doing the workout, and I never can get her to work out. I swear to you. She will not. She probably hasn't worked out since. So, what's been going on since Electric Saturdays? What's to come? What's good, Jay?
Well, Electric Saturdays is my baby. It started in 2019. CJ was there, y'all, for the very first Electric Saturdays. I wanted to bring to the community a live outdoor workout, but I wanted to make fitness fun while connecting with community. Not to be your typical workout, but, just to have a little twist on it. So I was playing around with it because I wasn't sure if I was going to be successful at it. I just knew that, this is what I really wanted to try. It just created a snowball effect. And, when COVID hit, I was like, well, no, Electric Saturdays outdoors this year when the warmer months come. But we created a pivot. We decided to incorporate Zoom. So I had 2 young ladies as models to work out with me for the Zoom audience. So we had one young lady that would do the difficult version along with me, and then we had one that did the modified version. And people really caught on to that and really liked it because, Zoom was definitely on fire as far as workouts and all that. So it actually did, better than expected. I definitely misjudged the whole thing, but I'm happy that I bought it back for the second year in a row. And I was going to continue it, throughout the year, but, just had a few a few setbacks to occur, an injury that kind of had me to sit down for a little while. But we're definitely working on bringing it back bigger and better, a little different than before.
Oh yeah, bigger, better. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, the stuff that we can do now, because we've all grown so much since like the first time we tried it. We learned so much from that first one, right? And it's just gonna get bigger and better from here. And I can only imagine, like with the technology that we have access to now, and some of the tips and tricks and some of the little tactics that we've kind of developed. It's about to be.
Already kind of got people waiting for it, People can't wait to get back to those Electric Saturdays.
Well, we're building up the anticipation, man. That's how you got to do it. Like, just a whole new platform that, I'm collaborating with Hustle, a little bit. I've been plugging him all day because he is the best.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, I won't really, he's more mentoring. Let's go back to his name, Side Hustle Mentor, right? So he is mentoring me and giving me a lot of jewels to make Electric Saturdays bigger and better. And I am all about giving props to whomever that is inspiring me at the moment, and I just had to give you a little shameless extra shout out because definitely the ideas are coming, and Electric Saturdays is going to be lit 2020.
Oh, definitely appreciate that, and we definitely gonna turn these ideas into some execution, and we're gonna get it on and popping for next year.
Yes, so just a whole new platform field that I'm looking forward to. Zoom has definitely been great, and it may be a continuation or it may just be something totally different, but it will definitely be user-friendly for anyone at home who is not ready yet to enter back into those gyms or even be outside and want to maintain the social distance. And just so many other things that I plan on creating for the community to make, getting that burn and having all the necessities needed for the workout. Even growing a community where they all can communicate with each other. There's just so many ideas that are on the horizon.
I would say, too, and this is probably a good question for the fitness professionals or trainers listening, it's like, for that first Zoom event or that first Zoom workout, somebody who's wanted to go live, what's the one thing or one or two things that you learned in your first your first experience with it? Was it like, oh snap? Or you're like, because I know a few things that we ran into that I want to say, but what's the first things that come to your mind they should be aware of?
So definitely when you're creating the Zoom, one thing I didn't realize is, because Zoom put the security features in place, I was running back and forth trying to teach and allow people into the room so they can view. So I was like, okay, this is difficult, because you don't want to be like, you don't want people to wait too long where they just log off and then you lose that person. And then you also don't want to be running back and forth in the midst of explaining something. So I ran into that. Then also learning, we started off with a small iPad. We ended with a screen. We actually used the HDMI cord and we connected the laptop to our TV. And we were able to get, see everyone and make sure everyone's doing everything properly. So it's basically making sure you have your technicalities set up. Those are most important, like doing a whole walkthrough or run through prior to actually doing the actual workout. We just went all in, just having typical Zoom calls and playing around with Zoom. It just seemed like it would be fairly easy, but it definitely was a bunch of learning points where we fine-tuned as time went on to make it a better experience for both the guest instructors that came along, myself and the community that we were servicing.
Yeah, definitely. I would say multiple screens was the number one thing. Like she said, we started with just an iPad and then a phone for IG Live, and when you have multiple screens, it just helps. That TV, like she said, having. I'm sure you probably your energy is probably different when you see the people working out on the big screen, right? You see them at home and you can interact. I'm sure that made you feel a lot better in that last session versus the first one.
Oh, absolutely. And then they felt good because we were shouting out their names, and even though everyone was remote, we really had the feel that we were all connected and right there. Again, once we got over that technical hump, things start to get a little bit better, and just behind the scene things, making sure the outline of the workout is written. I'm really a off the dome type person. But when you are incorporating other people and you are producing something for the public, you do have to make sure that you have somewhat of a skeleton, quote unquote, in place where you have something that you continue off of, just in case, just to keep the vibe going. You want to make sure you have that. You want to make sure if you're including people in your workout that, I think color coordination is important. I think it represents unity. I think just to see everything just in sync is an awesome thing. Also, if you're bringing people on board, you're demoing the actual movements to everyone that's a part of it. So everyone's prepared and all the proper form is displayed, because you want those people at home to be on point, to have a good view of what's being done in a good model display. So all these things are definitely important when you're doing live workouts, having just a great team around you. Everyone having, input to make everything flow smoothly, making sure your audio, making sure your audio is pretty good, because we did do a few IG live incorporated with the Zoom, and it's certain music, or if it's a certain, if it's too loud, or certain words get picked up or copyrighted, or whatever the case. We had a couple times where IG just shut off the live.
Yeah, and that oh my God, that got me so nervous. Listen, you want to talk about sweating bullets? I was sweating like Side Hustle Mentor. I'll tell you about him, what we ran into at the conference, by the way, too. So
I had to change shirts 3 times.
Yeah, so it's like one of those things where, like, and just to give you an example, so I was nervous when the music went, shut down your IG live, but something like that similarly happened at the Rev Up Fitness Conference.
Really?
Where we were playing something, but due to the technicality, the audio just wasn't right. And so in this case, the video was there, but the audio wasn't right. So it was supposed to be the Kiki Black Yoga.
Right.
And we, in full transparency, we had some audio issues with it. So guess what we did? We said, listen, boom, let's go ahead and stop it. And we gave everyone the replay access so they can watch the replay live later on. But we didn't let that stop. But, it was one of those things. But trust me, when it happens live, this guy over here was sweating bullets.
Until we actually made that decision to what we're gonna do in Pivot, I was over there sweating bullets, boy.
I never noticed.
Shirt one, let me go change this shirt. Let me go change that shirt. Like, because it was the very first kickoff of the conference, and I'm like, when tech issues can go wrong, sometimes they can go wrong.
Yes, they can.
That's why you gotta still be able to persevere and keep a cool head, and be able to make sure people still have a good experience. So
I had never seen him sweat like that. I swear to you, but see, I didn't notice it at first because we're in the moment, right? That's one thing to realize, like when you're putting on any type of event, workout, like what we did with Instagram Live for you, for example, we didn't panic. We just stayed with it.
Yeah.
You just pick it up and you keep moving, and that's it.
And you definitely have to keep flowing and keep going. Mm-hmm. Pretty much. No one really knows you mess up unless you show that you mess up.
Some people probably, most people, they told me they thought the audio problem was on their end.
Yeah, that was on their end, you know. So, but for us, of course, we obviously know what's on our end. But that's why I said it was a manageable experience. But we're able to keep our cool heads, and I definitely think our experience just from working in corporate America and the kind of stuff that we've dealt with has definitely translated pretty well to our crisis management.
Definitely crisis management. Like in corporate America, like he said, we've probably dealt with clients dealing with $10-20 million deals. You know what I mean? And and you have too as well. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of an advantage that we already came into the game with.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm just so ready for Electric Saturdays to come back, and just so many other things. The goal is just to level up Electric Fit. It's not really reinvent. I think that Electric Fit is a great concept.
No, we know.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for the correction there.
Definitely.
Yeah, Electric Fit is a great concept. It's about just adding the layers to Electric Fit. And for those of you that don't know, Electric Fit is basically the fusion between an electric plant-based alkaline lifestyle and fitness. Many people believe a myth that if you're plant-based, you can't build muscle, and your physique is going to change.
But what about your protein? What about your protein?
Oh my gosh, I get more protein now.
Oh yeah.
So definitely, when I chose the name Electric Fit back in 2017, it was centered around a lot of people, telling me that I'm going to lose my muscle mass or whatever the case. And, basically that they don't know how I'm going to maintain. I'm like, well, I'm already, vegan, but just really cleaning it up a little bit to go from that starchitarian vegan stage that I was in, beans and rice and stuff like that. And January will be 5 years. vegan in general, and 3 years more of on the electric journey, and I'm in better shape, better health than I was prior. I was vitamin D deficient, iron deficient when I was eating meat. I haven't had those deficiencies since I learned the concept of what works and what doesn't. It took a lot of, research and getting it right, but now the more I learn, it's time for me to package that up for those that are interested or those who want to incorporate maybe a little bit of it, maybe like not the whole thing, because you definitely can modify it to where you are. But Electric Fit does have a lot to offer, and it's just time to share more.
Yeah, and if you guys are not already following her, make sure you go follow. Look, tell them where they can follow you at.
Yes, Electric_Fit. That's ELECTRIK_fit.
And I wanted to bring up another topic too, real quick. Kind of the world in the midst of the pandemic that we're going through right now.
Oh yeah.
And like gyms, right? I've been to the gym, I would say anywhere between 5 and 10 times since this whole thing has happened.
Mm-hmm.
I know right now, Side Hustle, you're going to the gym pretty frequently right now, right?
Yeah, I'm actually just kicking off a new workout regime, so it's definitely a new world going into the gym, just because they call it fitness distancing at the gym that I go to is what their kind of term is. And, so usually the machines next to the machine that you're on is usually going to be shut down, and you have to wear the mask the entire time that you're working out, which can definitely prove challenging sometimes when you're, especially if you haven't worked out in a while and just trying to catch your breath. So it's definitely a new world we're living in from the gyms, and I'm not sure how soon it's going to go back.
Oh, so wait a second. You have to wear the mask the whole time, even on the treadmill?
Yeah, even on the machine.
That's
I'm not sure if it's
gross.
like that from state to state, but I know here in Michigan gyms, you have to wear the mask the entire time you're in the facility. You can't take it off during working out.
Yeah, that's definitely different than what we, experienced. We were in Miami, early this year, and most recently, the gym there is like, hey, you keep your mask on until you actually get to the treadmill.
Okay.
And
in this case, I'm doing the treadmill with my mask on.
How's that experience?
The first day was really tough, actually, because, I kept finding myself getting out of breath sooner than I thought I would be. And then my face was just getting super hot and pulsating because of the mask or whatnot. But I think by day 2, I just kind of learned to control my breathing a little bit better or whatnot. And then day 3 wasn't as bad. So I think going forward, just kind of learning to control your breathing kind of helps out.
There's a mask. There's a couple of different fitness masks that, I think we might want to have you try out. I know for sure Under Armour has one for people who run.
Okay.
And people who work out outside. There's one that you can use, and it's supposed to be like the kind of help with the sweat and stuff like that. There's a couple other brands too, but I know for sure I've seen that. You might want to look into it, especially since you're running like with a mask on.
Right.
That can get gross.
Yeah, I'm not in the gym fully. I have been opting more for outdoors. Or like in the community that I live, we have a small gym where it may be 1 or 2 people in at any given time. And it's so much space that they may be in another room and we may never come in contact. I like to keep it better that way. I know wearing masks is important, but it's very difficult to work out and to breathe, wearing a mask because, definitely your breathing technique is a large part of the part of your workout, mind, muscle connection in your breathing and your reps and so forth. So wearing a mask makes it a little more challenging.
Yeah, I can only imagine. I'll just say this: if I have to wear a mask while I'm working out in the gym, I don't know if I'll necessarily go. I planned on going to the gym tomorrow. Yeah. But I'm also going to be conscious of how many people are around and things like that. So no matter what, you still just got to be safe. And speaking of being safe, during Black Friday coming up, listen. Be safe out there. It's going to be big crowds. Do the virtual shopping. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just do virtual.
I definitely agree. You can always send it back if it doesn't work, but I do think staying out the way and, the online deals may prove to be better than in-person deals anyway.
I think lately from what I've seen, it seems like the online deals have actually been better, and it's less stress. You don't have to worry about parking.
Yes.
It's just all that rage that comes along with Black Friday shopping. You don't even have to worry about it, and then shipping so fast. Well, some places it's kind of fast because of COVID, but you can have it by Monday or Tuesday, and save yourself so much stress and headache, and also you're doing something safe for the community around you. So
I would say, listen, I would say do all virtual, but I will admit, I went to Macy's today. Yeah, I know you're looking at me crazy. I went to Macy's and there was this air fryer that my sister was telling me about. My mom was like, this air fryer was on sale. It's normally like $150 and it was on sale for $89. And I was like, you know what? I do want it today. So I went ahead and just got it today. But don't listen, that's not normal for me. Okay, that's not normal. The rest of the week, I'll be in the crib. But one other.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna enjoy that air fryer because I love mine that I recently.
Oh yeah,
got.
speaking of air fryers, I had a New Wave, but there was someone who's on this podcast right now who
that New Wave I kind of electrified by accident. But
exactly.
Just remember, I owe you a New Wave, so you never broke.
Yeah,
you never broke.
It's on the recording, so we got that.
Okay, I'm new to this. I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this after the show for sure. But one last thing, talk about voting, guys. Like, because the whole world has changed because of the movement that just recently happened with the vote. Like, you want to talk about how important it is that for the next vote that's coming up here?
Oh yes, guys. I know that we've just elected a brand new president. So awesome, but the race is not over. We are on the last leg of the race, and it's very important that we don't all get lax and just get comfortable just because the president has been selected. If any of you out there watch sports or are familiar with football, we all understand that the quarterback is the leader of the team, but the quarterback has to have a good line of defense in front of him that he can work with, right? So now that we have our quarterback, we have to put our linemen in place, right? And we have most of them that are already elected, but a few states still have runoffs, especially like right here where we are right now in Georgia. So we have a few Senate runoffs that we have to, get out there and, continue, with our votes to make sure that, our president definitely has a good support team to get things done, because it's bigger than just the president, him or herself, because as the world is changing, it could always go either way. I think we get so caught up on, okay, I vote for president, I'm done. But, the president definitely needs a good supporting team to work with, because, you have the Senate, you have the Congress, like, it's levels to getting laws passed. It's levels to getting change done. And the president doesn't have all power to do everything that he or she wants to do by themselves. They have to definitely go through the steps. And that's why it's very important that we continue to vote in all other elections as well, to understand the whole process and the levels. So make sure, if you haven't registered, I think you have to December.
You have the deadline for a new voter registration is December 7th here in Georgia. Early voting begins December 14th.
Okay.
And election day is January 5th.
Right. So make sure you all get out and vote, and you don't forget. So
yeah, definitely. So we definitely would just want to make sure you guys continue to go ahead and keep that movement going. Go ahead and, like I said, get your voting, vote early, just like you did for the previous election. And is there anything else you wanted to add on to that, Chris? I think we might have lost some technical difficulty, but but I will say, look, Jay, I know you're gonna vote early. I'm gonna vote early.
Oh, always. Dropbox.
Yeah, definitely.
That's the way to go for me. I try to avoid, too much of the crowd.
And before we get out of here, I know there's some future guests coming up, that you're really excited about. I'm not going to drop any hints, but you want to drop any hints? I don't know. Should we?
I think y'all should stay tuned.
Stay tuned, yeah, because there's going to be some future guests we're bringing right here to the studio. Social distance, of course, we're 6 feet away. Everything's going to be safe. But yeah, definitely, continue to, subscribe. You guys have been doing a great job subscribing to us on all audio platforms. Go ahead and share it with your friends and your family, fitness professionals who want to hear the behind the scenes of the fitness industry. We're going to continue to bring in more and more guests. we're here to bring you not only just entertainment, but information and value from not only our experience within the fitness industry, but from other people's as well. So.
Absolutely. And also this Black Friday, let's not forget to support Black-owned businesses as well. Let's keep circulating in dollars so we continue to grow and move forward, family.
There you go. So, yeah, definitely. We appreciate you guys tuning in for this edition of the Rev Up Fitness Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to us on audio, on YouTube, all that stuff. Follow us on Instagram.
Yes.
And all that good stuff.
All right. Till next time.
See ya.
Bye.